Oh my gosh, there's 30 snook right here. Oh, one just ate it. That was awesome. Beautiful redfish. Bomber right there in the corner. This guy sucked it down. Hey, Luke Symes with Salt Strong here to do some paddle fishing, exploring some new grounds. I put a post up in the Salt Strong Insider community at like 5:30 yesterday, and Glenn showed up. Total last second trip. Here I met Glenn. We're gonna get out, do some paddle action, and see what we have. Looks like you have jig head on one. What do you have on the other? Oh, good call, good call. Weighted hook, and then I've got the same. I've actually got two weighted hooks. One with paddle tail, one with the leprechaun, and we're gonna go paddle around and see if we can get some fun fish catching action. We'll let you know how it goes. So here's the first spot we fished. The goal of this trip was to catch a slam, so snook, redfish, sea trout, and on the way to the first spot that I had seen from the online maps, this area looked good. We had a lot of bait, and decided to go stop, and I just had those two lures. One was the Alabama leprechaun on the weighted hook, the split tail, and then the paddle tail, which is the new Slam Shady Bomber. So the split tail for the calm water, and then the Bomber paddle tail for the areas with wind, and that was my selection process. Here's the first fish of the day. Oh, there we are. There's a snook on the board. There's some more fish in there too. Oh yeah, a lot of snook up here. Sweet. We found them. Yeah, there's a bunch of snook. There's probably 30 snook right there. I'm gonna try to get myself out. Come back here and catch some more. All right, and we got fun size snook. Explore new waters, gotta love that. Got the leprechaun right, hooked perfectly. Let him go. There he goes. Leprechaun is ready for action. All right, Glenn's on. Look at these, are snook or jacks. We'll see in a second. Oh, there we are. I think they're all snook. Let's see. Yeah, these are all snook. They're hitting right up in those trees. As soon as I can get this guy off, I'll have another one. All right, little fella. And he's off. All right, that thing messed my lure up, so now I'm gonna switch over to the Bomber. Oh, there we are. Oh, I lost them. They are not playing games today. Got him. Golly, missed another one. These are all just pretty small. This lure is designed for the bigger fish, so I'm missing some of these smaller hits. Oh my gosh, there's 30 snook right here. Oh, one just ate it. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, I just watched him eat. How cool. All right, let that little guy go. All right, so we had a lot of fun with those snook, but didn't see any big ones, and also didn't see any redfish in there, and made a switch, started going to different spots, and specifically looking for redfish. In this case, ended up catching another snook at the first spot, and it was really cool. I ended up seeing another insider member out on the water. This is Chris. So on my way out in search for redfish, I stopped to chat with him, and he actually had just had one on, so I knew I was on the right track. So I kept targeting those same types of spots, and the very next one I had some cool action. Unfortunately, the GoPro ended up malfunctioning. Oh man, what a heartbreaker. So as I was fighting that jack, my battery died, and the jack ended up getting me underneath the mangroves, and while I was trying to get it out of there, a school of redfish came by. It was like 100 redfish, big ones, all big ones. And I was just out of commission. So unfortunately, the jack ended up breaking me off too. So now I'm regrouping. I'm about to retie. I'm just gonna sit here. Hopefully those redfish will settle down, and if so, I'm gonna have an amazing time. They were all big redfish, and I'm hoping that they're positioned right here on this bar. So anyhow, I'm gonna re-rig and let's see if we can get some big reds. All right, so Glenn and I were posted up on this little island, and this is where those reds were. And in many cases, the redfish will kind of hang around the same area, and so that was what I was hoping. So decided to spend a little bit of time. We were probably there for maybe 15-20 minutes, and so I was fishing this point, and I was actually drifting towards it. And here pretty soon, you can see me start to kneel down. I actually saw some reds. Yeah, there I'm starting to kneel down. So there's redfish. There's the school of them. I just saw them, and they're actually going in between me and this island. They're only like 15 feet out. You can just barely not see them. They're going from left to right. So I just slung one out. I tried to sling one out ahead of the school, and this is the Slam Shady Bomber. And so just slung it out and I started reeling it, and here it is. Oh, there we are. I got him. The school's right here. That's a nice red. The old sleigh ride going now. Better get my paddle. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get me in these bushes. Come on, don't get me in the bushes. Let's see, there he is. Solid redfish. Woo. There we are. I found the school. The bomber got the job done. Yeah, that's a good fish. Probably ought to anchor myself down. As long as I can keep him out of these bushes, I got him. It's gonna be close. Nice. Yeah, that was a bunch of them in there. They're all heading that way.
Okay.
They must have just done a big circle, because they're all going like 15 feet from me. So I just crouched down so that I was hoping they wouldn't see me, and at least one of them came up and smacked it. That was awesome. Gotta love getting some nice fish while exploring new waters. It's 5 feet from those trees, so I got them now. Can lighten the drag a little bit. Let's see, looks like a nice overslot red. Beautiful redfish. Bomber right there in the corner. This guy sucked it down. Yeah, so I released that red, and this is the very next cast. I just stayed there, and I was hoping that school would come by. And always good just to keep your eyes peeled. So my head's based on a swivel, looking around, and I eventually see a redfish, and I wasn't sure if it was the one that I caught or not. I think there's another one right there. It might be the one I released. But... see if we can get him to eat, just in case it's a different one. Oh, he's following it. Oh man. So here it is in slow-mo. You can see that redfish following up the bomber. It was right behind it, and then at the last second it pulled away. It probably saw me. It was basically right up there at the surface, but it's just cool to see that. It's always fun to see those close calls. So I stayed there a little bit longer, and was looking for that redfish school again, hoping that it would swing by. Unfortunately, did not see it, but did pick off a snook while sitting there. And then on the way back, I really wanted to get a trout. So, and I had a spot picked out for trout. Those are generally the easiest around here to get, and it was the outside grass flat. On the way there, I did fish a couple points, and I got a jack, and then hooked into this nice size snook. And then I got to my trout spot where I thought there'd be some trout. Put the anchor pin down because that wind was getting really strong, and the trout were exactly where they're supposed to be.
And the snook came up and whacked it. Oh. Let that go. Still ready for more.
All right, so now it's trout time, and this is that grass flat that I saw on the online maps. It fit the perfect mold for the type of spot that should be holding trout, and they were exactly where they're supposed to be.
There we are. This might be the trout. Oh, I missed him. There we are. Might be the trout for the slam. you up. Oh, dang it. Missed him again.
I didn't give myself much time for this trout, so I was starting to get a little bit nervous that I wasn't going to get the slam. These fish kept pulling off, but I stayed there. And this very next cast, I finally got a good hook set, and this sealed the deal.
Oh, there we are. There's the trout. There's the trout for the slam. Came out on the grass flat. And as expected, slam shady bomber over the grass flat equals trout. Little fella. There's a bunch of them down there. Let him go.
Yeah, I stayed just a little bit longer. Wanted to upgrade that trout to get a little bit something a little bit bigger, and there's a lot of trout there. And I was, as you can see here, I was just casting the slam shady bomber at casting mile. I was casting with the wind, and I put the rod tip down, and I was doing a relatively fast retrieve, and I would give it some bumps every once in a while. You can see the rod tip moving, and that's what did the trick.
Is every cast there's trout. There he is. Whoa. A respectable trout. Solid fish. This is the very next cast after the last one. All right, so just got back to the launch. That was a fun trip. I got back early. It's about 10:45. We fished from so 7:30, 10:45. Had a blast. And this is just a testament that you don't have to know spots. It's more about the type of spot. None of us had to ever fish this area before. We all caught fish. We caught quality fish, and we did it all with lures too. This slam shady bomber got the job done, and the leprechaun was on the other one that got broke off. But that's all I used. That's all I used the whole time, and it was all about just looking for the right type of spot based on the conditions. And if you need help doing that, make sure to join our Insider Club. If you haven't yet done so, give it a shot. There's a 100% guarantee that you're gonna catch more fish than there before. And for you Insider members, I'm gonna have a detailed Insider report on this trip, and I'm gonna point out exactly where I caught every fish. You're gonna see the pre-trip plan on what spots were selected and why. And that way you can look for the same types of spots near you and just go out and have a ton of fun on the water. So thank you so much for your time and watching this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the online fishing club that'll help you catch more inshore slams while saving money on all the tackle you need. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live Salt Strong and wear the line.